Some of y'all gamers lost the plot, need a little bit of common sense knocked into you, but don't worry, Papa Leon's here to do it all for you. So welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and if you hadn't heard the news, the Game Awards were yesterday. Pretty great, except for they weren't, because it's the Game Awards and no one cares about them, but there were some interesting announcements, like that Pac-Man Metroidvania, for example. That looked pretty sick, but the talk of the town, the belle of the ball, the jewel in the ring, what everyone's talking about is The Witcher 4. Now, why they're talking about it is a little bit strange. You got some folks on one side so happy to see a female character front and center. You got those on the other side saying that the female character is ugly, even though she absolutely isn't, and they are doing nothing but making a caricature of what I thought this anti-woke and Gamergate movement was supposed to be. So we're going to get into this, but before we do, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and I know that a lot of you that follow me are going to be a little upsetty spaghetti about this one, but don't mean the courtesy of just sticking with me and at least hear me out. Do your boy that much of a solid, because we got folks like Figs here. Why does Ciri in the new Witcher game look like an ugly, gross girl boss?
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah, okay, let's stop for a moment. Let's analyze this. No man jaw, pretty eyes, fair skin, feminine lips. She looks fine to me. Yeah, she looks a bit haggard, but she also roughs us out in the wilderness and, like, fights demons and monsters and shit. I would kind of expect her to look a little bit haggard, and if it was just this one post, okay, fair enough, it wouldn't be so bad. But I am seeing a contingent of individuals on, again, quote-unquote, our side, throwing massive complaints about her looks as if she was Mary Jawline from Spider-Man 2. When that is absolutely not the case. Do you want the wokies to win? Because this is how you let the wokies win. You become a caricature of what it is that you become the caricature that they portray you as. Like everything they say about Grums or Hypnotic or Smash JT, you actually become that when you make these asinine assertions that are in no way, shape, or form correct. So we got more of these. We got Big Boss Luffy. How do they fuck up Ciri this much? And then they compare Ciri to the Witcher 3 appearance. Guys, she's like 15 years old in that. Like, very obviously, there's a time jump here. Like 10 to 20 years if I had to wager a guess. I bet at least a 10-year time jump between Witcher 3 and 4. Now, full disclosure, full transparency, because I'm honest with you guys. You're my audience. You wouldn't want me to lie to you. I don't like The Witcher 3. Now, again, I told you give me a chance. First of all, the story is great. I think the story of Witcher 3 is awesome. The gameplay sucks ass. An additional caveat, it might be super cool on the PC, but your boy played it all the way back in the PS4 when it launched on there, and I'm gonna be real, that shit was clunky, it controlled like ass, and they tried to jam-pack all these different options onto a controller, clearly wasn't built for it. Now, when you can macro your dozens of magic abilities and your swordplay, and when you can macro all that to keys on a keyboard, bro, I bet the game's a banger. I'd be willing to give it another shot. But going off my experience, 10 years ago, however long it was, the gameplay was ass, but the story was really cool. Also, there were multiple endings, lots of replay value. I bring the multiple endings up for those of you that don't know, because we're going to get into that in a bit when we got to another route to take. But you got Endymion getting in on this. CD Projekt Red has completely been hit with a DEI ugly stick. What the fuck is this Ciri? And her voice actor is different too. Okay. He is partially correct here. CD Projekt Red has been hit with a DEI stick. Yeah, they've been they were happy to announce it. They talk about it all the time. Go to their website. It's plastered how they're all in on DEI and ESG. They're proud of it. They love it. So yes, the ugly stick? Again, she looks fine. She looks, I mean, there's quite literally nothing wrong with its design. I mean, it's a bit too realistic for me. I'm wearing a Spyro shirt. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. Clearly, I like a little bit of the cartoony aesthetic in my games. But this is the art style The Witcher has always done. They've always been hyper-realistic to what the console and or PC would allow at the time. So it makes sense that she would look like this. She looks like a real person, a real character. She's not uglified up for any agenda purposes. She's also not wearing super scantily clad clothing, which is again, kind of part for the course. She didn't in other Witcher games either, because, I mean, she was a child. And it's not like we need every game to have that. We've been getting games that have that recently. You know, the First Descendant, Marvel Rivals. That's great. Keep bringing the sexy women in. But what, just because she's not scantily clad, all of a sudden she's ugly? Like, if you were to look at this chick IRL, if you were to go to the bar or the library and see a girl with this complexion, this face, these eyes, I guarantee you'd think that she was cutie. But no, everybody's all upsetty spaghetti because they're so tunnel vision with the culture war that they're losing the damn plot. What about sweet babes incoming? SBI. Fuck you, CD Projekt Red. What the fuck is wrong with Ciri's new DEI sign? Left. Right is from NetTease's Ciri design. What the fuck? Well, again, the one on the right is her Witcher 3 appearance when she's like 15 years old. Also, it's a completely different art style. You can't even compare the two because it's a different art style. That is like throwing a fit about Pokemon, the animated series, done by Funimation or whatever, with Ash, and then comparing it to Pokemon Origins, which is a completely different studio, completely different art style, and being like, oh, well, one Pokemon is better than guys, the different companies, different art styles, they're not even comparable. And again, it's also not the same version of the character. Also, the one on the right isn't from a Witcher game. It's DLC for like a mobile game or some shit. Like, it's such a disingenuous comparison. Thankfully, there's some folks out there that do got a lick of sense. My boy Atreus, for example. I hate to be the one to have to do this, but who am I kidding? No, I'm not. Y'all brothers overdoing it. Ciri does not look that fucking bad. Don't get out here and make us all look goofy. But that's exactly what you're doing. You're making us look goofy. There's a reason for the Gamergate stuff. There's a reason for fighting DEI. There's a reason for, talking about wokeness in video games. And that was so the artists can do what they want to do and then not be burdened by censorship, not have these third-party consultation companies come in, tell them to rewrite things, race swap characters. That's what we want to fight against. We want the art to stay pure. Now, are there going to be consultation companies involved in this game? Absolutely. I'm sure there is. However, it doesn't seem like Ciri was all that affected. No. In fact, here's what's been affected. If I had to wager a guess, no, I bet the Ciri is going to be insufferable in terms of she's going to probably talk ridiculous shit to the NPCs. I bet that she's going to be very overpowered. I bet that she's going to lambast masculinity. Now, I could be wrong about all this, but if I had to wager a guess, just going off of what the modern gaming zeitgeist has been like, she will probably do all that. And if that's what happens, and you want to complain about that and being a DEI mess, by all means, go for it. Those would be valid criticisms. But to criticize her looks when she looks fine, y'all lost the plot. Thankfully, Kada also coming in with some straight fire. You know how bad they tainted the media we get if people are screaming Ciri is woke. And I know it sounded like I misspoke there. I didn't. He mistyped. I'm gonna give him a pass. He's black. That was probably just some eubonic speak that I don't get on account of my lack of melanin. But the point is, he is correct. If people are screaming about Ciri being woke, bro, again, culture war tunnel vision. This ain't Mary Jawline from Spider-Man 2. He also hacks a really good point here. Yes, CD Projekt Red is infested from the ground up with ESG, DEI, and whatever other buzzword you can think of. They also gave us one of the greatest games of all time in Cyberpunk 2077 and the DLC Phantom Liberty. So with that being said, let's wait and not overreact. Now, if you were upset for lore changes, if you were upset because CD Projekt Red themselves are a very messed up DEI-infested company, okay, by all means, I can completely understand, respect, and appreciate that. But that's not the same as people just throwing a fit about her looks. In fact, let's do some quick comparison, because this is what I said. You guys want to be upset about lore changes, DEI in the story. That's all totally fair. The character design, though, calling Ciri ugly compared to what we've seen prior to this, y'all are too tunnel vision, the culture war. Witcher 4 is probably going to suck, but this ain't it. This is what we're getting. This was also announced at the Game Awards. This is actual wokeness. You got your strong women of color with the shaved head, the look of smug superiority. This is some ugly-ass woke shit right here. Mary Jawline from Spider-Man 2. What's her name from Star Wars Outlaws? And we saw the model, and the model that played her is gorgeous. And then you get this as the character model? You're telling me after the three things I just showed you that this right here is a problem, that this is unattractive, that they beat Ciri with the ugly stick? You out your goddamn mind. I could have pulled up dozens of other examples. What about Jawline from Perfect Dark? Oh, yeah, we definitely remember that one. What about, the character from, I don't even remember the game anymore, Flintlock? What about the bitches from Flintlock? Or any of those other DEI-infested games? What was the one, the one that Square Enix did with the black chick. I just blew stuff up with my Forspoken. The Forspoken. That was a fugly bitch right there. This, though, and if you want something to be upset about, if you truly want to be upset, I got you too. I will give you reasons to be upset that are completely valid. First of all, I get it. If you're a lore hound and you know that females can't be witchers, by all means. If you think they're going to pull, like my boys do, I've been talking to my friends who are much bigger into The Witcher than I am, and if you're a lorehound and you know that, they're probably going to pull some stuff with the Elder Blood and retcon, you want to be mad at that? Go for it. Completely understand. If you want to be mad at the fact that they are a DEI-infested company, which means they're going to be hiring people that are based on their skin color or sexuality who have never made a game before, which is going to mean they don't know how to write code properly, which is going to mean the game is going to be a buggy, glitchy mess on launch because they're getting people who are talentless hacks to work on it because, hey, at least they're hiring based on, who they fuck or their skin color. That is all equally worthy to be upset about. But here is more worthy to be upset about. She's actually about to become the Witcher, Kellenba explained. She's about to actually form her own codex, but on her own terms. Bingo, bango, bongo. Now that is some leftist, Marxist, woke-coded language. Be upset about that. This was, that way she actually deals with the monsters, the way she deals with quests, the adventures. It's her own unique way. I also think she gives more room to be able to tell different stories here and there. Bingo, bango, bongo times 2. That is some coded ass Marxist woke ideological bananas ass talking points. Be mad about that. Of course we want to give the opportunity for the player to explore more nuance because this is what we do, but she deserves that. Oh my god, if you want to talk coded Marxist ideological bullshit in your video games, them's the voids right there. Be mad about that. Both Mitrega and Kellenba acknowledged a potential backlash from some corners of the internet at Ciri's role as protagonist in The Witcher 4. Hey, look, that's us, and you're playing right into their hands. You're giving them the backlash that they claim that they want that's going to help them scream to the high heavens about the toxic negativity and toxic masculinity that is our side of the internet. Because you're doing it over her looks when she looks completely fine. I've given you a multitude of things to throw a fit about, none of which have to do with her looks, because if you want the overly sexified characters, alright, fair enough, go for it. But just be honest and say that's what you want. Because if this version of Ciri right here, if this Ciri was a cashier in your local McDonald's, or you ran into her at the library or Barnes & Noble or whatever, you would think she was cute as fuck. Again, yeah, she looks a bit haggard here, but she rusted out in the wilderness and fights demons and monsters and shit. Like, I don't know any other way to say it. Now, if you're upset that she's being called a Witcher when she can't be a Witcher according to the lore, you're fine, you're good. But you guys are losing the plot. It is actually so insane to me that you would fall right into the hands, right into the trap of the folks making these games, or of the wokies that have been denigrating us for the last God knows how many months over this character design, which is not a bad character design at all. Have you learned nothing? Or are you really just the same stupid NPCs as the wokies, but from the other side of the aisle? Now, I would like to hope not. I would like to think not. I would like to think that gamers TM are better and smarter than this. But by God, if what I've been seeing on X is indicative of the vast majority of people on the anti-woke side, well, we ain't sending our best either, and we ain't exactly losing champions. In fact, DEI and shit deserves to grow if this is the best you got, this is your best mentality. And I get it, there are folks on the other side of the aisle who are just, oh yay, female character leading The Witcher, finally. Well look, I get it. They were going to say that shit anyway, but I truly believe that we are the majority. Hey, there's more of us than there are of them, so if we're going to be the majority, maybe we should, talk about shit that actually matters. There's multiple endings of the Witcher games, like I mentioned earlier, and they've been setting up for Ciri to take over. Now, you can like that, you can dislike that, whatever, but they have been doing that. Now, you can get canon, or you can get endings where Ciri doesn't become a Witcher, you can get the canon ending where, she goes on, like, whatever. But the point is, there were signs that this was coming well before now. And if you want to bitch about that, go for it. That's a dumb direction for the story, in my opinion. But talk about that and not her looks, because that is a losing battle that makes you look like a fool. But those are my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. Not always about the state of the video game industry, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, check out the new and improved merch store. That's right, get yourself a Hondo tee, and then hop on the Discord and converse with over 150 other vital idols. Talk anime, movies, music, the whole nine. But until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.